Hey artists, I want to show you how to make your ghost project. So as you can see, I am in Adobe Photoshop and I am already signed in. If you ever open Photoshop and you think, hey, that's not my account, hit the little circle in the top right, go to account, and you can see there you can sign out and sign back into your account. All right, to start the project, you want to hit open, actually create new. Create new, and we want the letter size. If letter isn't seen in recent, you can find it over in print. We want letter size. For your actual project, we want to title it. Please title it with your name and the word ghost. Then down on the bottom, you're going to hit create. Give it a second, it'll open. From here, I like to pinch to zoom out a bit so I can see a little bit better. We want to start by inserting your background photo. So I'm going to click on the photos. I have already saved my photos from the drive onto my iPad, so I'm going to select my background. Now, I obviously need to turn my project because mine is horizontal, yours might be vertical. Turn if you need to, and then you want to pull by the corners to make it fill the whole space. Now remember, you have to fill all the white. So you're gonna have to maybe trim some of your photo by extending a little past the edge. You can always come back and move this later if need be, but you gotta make sure all the white is filled. Then you hit done in the top right corner. From here, we want to add another layer for our ghost photo now. So I'm going to hit the plus for new layer, and I can just go straight to photos from here. So I'm gonna select my ghost photo now. Now here's where it's going to get a little tricky. You're going to turn it. You're going to try to make it the same size. And again, we can adjust these after we've put them in here. So the main thing is, you know it's going to have to be the full size of the picture. I'd start somewhere around there. We can adjust that in a minute. I'm going to hit done. Next thing, I want to make sure my two layers are actually lined up directly on top of each other. So I'm going to take my ghost photo. I'm going to hit those three lines with the three circles. And I'm going to change my opacity to make it a little see-through. I'm going to hit those three lines with the circles again to close that. Now I can see through my photo and I can see that they're not lined up. So I'm going to hit the arrow. If it doesn't show up, make sure it's auto-selected is on. There we go. We want that blue outline. So now that it's outlined, I can move my ghost layer to try to line it up exactly with my background layer. I might have to make it slightly bigger or smaller to get it to line up. For me, I'm looking at the numbers for my house. I think that's the easiest place for me to line up. Try to find something that stands out really obvious to line up with it. So mine needs to be a little bigger. So take your time. The better you can line these up, the better your project's going to be. I think that's pretty close for mine. Once you like it, deselect it. I'm going to come back and make my ghost layer back to 100%. Now, I want to look at my layers. I'm actually going to hide my original background layer. So I'm going to select that background layer, and I'm going to click this little eyeball so it disappears. Right now, you can't tell that it's gone, but for the next step, it'll help. Once I've hidden the background layer, I'm going to select my ghost layer. I'm going to hit those three bars again. I'm going to remove background. Give it a second for the AI to work. I'm going to hit those three bars so I can see again. Now, as we know, the AI is not perfect, so you're going to have to take some time to adjust. So remember, you're going to use the paintbrush for that. You want to make sure your hardness is all the way up and your opacity is all the way up. Size depends on what you're trying to do. So remember, white brings back that original part of the photo. So for me, I know I need to bring back quite a bit down here at the bottom. I might even want to make my size of the brush a bit larger so I can do this a bit faster. So you want all of your ghost to be seen. If it cut off any part of it, like it did mine, go back through it and find it. I personally like to find the edge plus a little bit, just so I know I got all of it. Once you've done that, then you're going to switch to black. Now at this point, I'm definitely going to want a smaller brush. Now the black, remember, black deletes and gets rid of that original photo, hides it. So I'm going to zoom in, zoom in, and I'm going to take my time to slowly cover up with the black brush with that clipping mask right along the edge. So for this part, you might want to use a stylus. Definitely slow and steady little marks. If you accidentally bump crazy, remember the undo or 2-finger click. And you're going to work your way around your entire ghost so only the ghost is seen. Slow and steady. Take your time. If you go too far, you can undo. Or remember, you can switch back to the white brush and just draw it back on. Whatever works for you. So I'm going to take my time here. I'm going to work my way around. I'm going to go fast just so you guys can see those next steps. But you would take your time to do this really well. Like if this was my actual project, I'd do a smaller brush right there. I'd take my time. I'm just going to go fast so you can see those next steps. Again, going through the entire thing, you would go smaller brush, slower, so it looks better. I'm just going to quickly work my way around. Okay, so let's pretend I cleaned that up really nice. Now that it is completely erased, I can go back to my background layer and hit the eyeball again to see it. Now I'm going to go to my ghost layer, hit the 3 bars with the circles, and I'm going to change my opacity. And since that ghost is on its own layer, you can see I can make it just barely there. I can make it there a lot. So you want your ghost to be a bit see-through. How much see-through it is up to you. We do definitely want to be able to see through it. I wouldn't go so extreme that you can't see it, and I wouldn't go really high. I'd probably recommend somewhere around 50. Once you like everything, so we double check. I like to go from there. I like everything. Everything looks like it's lined up inside my ghost. I see that those poles line up, the lights and the windows, everything lines up. That's great. To save, I'm going to hit the box with the arrow pointing up. Quick export. And from there, I want to save image. So this will save it to my camera roll. I'm going to hit the home screen to get back, and I like to double check, is it on my camera roll? So I'm going to open it up, double check, yes it is there. Once I know that it's there, I'll go into Photoshop and I'll sign out and do it now so I don't forget. So our photo we have now is definitely going to use some more editing. We don't want to have all the bright, bold colors. We want to make it kind of spooky. Mine, I need to rotate. So I'm going to click Edit the photo, Crop, and I'm going to rotate it now. I also know I want to crop my photo a bit. I don't need to see all the door there, so I can crop it off. You decide what's going to work best for the crop of your project. Hit Done. And then lastly, we want to go to Snapseed to make it a bit more spooky. So I'm going to open up my photo editing, Snapseed. I'm going to open my ghost photo. Now you get to pick out which sort of filters you want. Now this is the one time I will allow you to use filters. I personally like ones that make it black and white and a little bit grainy. I think it makes it kind of spooky. Want to make sure we can still see it, like that would be a bad one. Or if you want, you could do everything by hand. So I'm going to hit the X there. To go by hand, I'll go Tools. I want to start, I'm going to make mine black and white. And I can choose which one of these I like best. I think I like contrast best. I'm going to hit OK. Now I can go back to Tools and Tune Image. And we know that I can adjust my brightness a little bit. I can adjust my contrast. Things like that until you like it. You could also add some graininess to it. So a grainy film can help make this look like an old spooky image. That could be a fun one to play around with, so look through those, see which ones you like. Maybe I'll go that one. Once you like it from here, we know we export and save a copy. Always save a copy, okay? From there, you would just turn it in Google Classroom like you know how to do. Good luck. I can't wait to see how your ghosts turn out.